Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this post-match press conference with India coach Rahul Dravid. As a reminder to everyone, please ensure that your mobile devices are all muted or on vibrate, please, begging you. And to everybody on Zoom, please ensure that your monitors are all muted. Please start with one question at a time so we'll be able to give as many people an opportunity at a chance.
Yeah, Rahul, end of the campaign must be disappointed with the day's play, actually.
Yeah, I mean, obviously disappointed to finish in the semi-finals. Probably would have certainly liked to go a couple of steps further. But yeah, just outclassed today. They were the better team in all departments, really. And the scoreline showed that.
Rahul, unfortunately, we'll be going to Melbourne, but there will be some takeaways for you from this tournament. So what would you think about that?
Yeah, it's tough, just after a few, honestly, after a loss like that, it's tough to, but we'll reflect on it. I mean, it's tough to reflect on things so close to the result. But yeah, I think, overall, we ran a pretty good campaign. We tried to, over the last year, we've played some good T20 cricket. Even in this tournament, I think we've had our moments. There's been some real individual quality from a lot of our players, shown some real good skills. But on the day, we were just not good enough here. And I'm sure that, when you lose in a semi-final, yes, I know it's disappointing, but yeah, I'm sure there are things that we can look back on and reflect on and see that we've improved in and we can take forward and move forward as we build for the next World Cup.
Rahul, you've prided yourself in your adaptability, and you trusted. You said you trusted if there's a pitch that calls for 190 total, the batters will bat accordingly. Was it a case of not doing that, or were the conditions so different when you were batting and then it started to slide on? And also about, like Rohit said that you would have batted first, but did you look at the Bangladesh game where they came so close, and Afghanistan, who also came so close against Australia, when both the night games that were played here?
Yeah, we honestly, we looked at those things. We looked at that as well. But also runs on the board was something in a semi-final. We had been batting well. We were one of those teams that were, even in these conditions, scoring 180 plus. I think we've done it three times, I think, in this tournament. So we were playing well. It's just, I think, maybe when the game started, the boys were saying it was a little bit tacky. It was a little bit slower. Having said that, they bowled really well. I thought they were really good up front. They hit really good lengths. Didn't really let us get away. And we felt at that 15 over mark, we were probably, 15-20 short. And we really had a really good last 5 overs. I thought, Hardik out there and was absolutely brilliant. And that's exactly, I mean, in the end, it looked like we were a lot shorter than even 15-20. But I think, we should have been able to get to 180, 185 on that wicket. It would have been, maybe things might have been different with an early wicket after that.
Rahul, I just wanted to know, like, the team after this is going to New Zealand under Hardik. So at this point in time, a cycle has ended. Next cycle is after 2 years. So what exactly, you said about reflection, like what exactly, where do we see Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, or Bhuvneshwar Kumar, or Ravichandran Ashwin, the senior guys? What's their future in terms of vis-a-vis T20 cricket?
Oh, it's too early to talk about it right now. It's just after a semi-final game. I mean, these guys have been terrific performers for us, and yeah, like you said, we have a couple of years to reflect on it. There's some really good quality players here, so absolutely not the right time to talk about this stuff or think about this stuff right now. We'll have enough games, enough matches as we go on ahead, and then yeah, we'll try and build and prepare for the next World Cup.
Rahul, one of the differences between India and England here is obviously the England guys. I think only one of that team hasn't played Big Bash or got experience playing here. Like, we haven't seen Indian players allowed to play overseas T20 leagues the entire time of, I suppose, the IPL. Can you see that ever changing, and do you think it would help in a sort of a holistic cricket sense?
Yeah, I mean, sure. There's no doubt about it that the fact that England a lot of their players have come here and played in this tournament. You know, it certainly showed. It's tough. I think it's very difficult for Indian cricket because a lot of these tournaments happen right in the peak of our season. You know, I think it's a huge challenge for us. Yes, you know, I think a lot of our boys maybe do miss out on the opportunities of playing in a lot of these leagues. But if you were to, it's really up to the BCCI to make that decision. But the thing is that it's right in the middle of our season, and with the kind of demand there would be for Indian players, if you allowed all the Indian players to play in these leagues, we would not have a domestic cricket. You know, our domestic cricket, our Ranji Trophy would be finished, and that would mean Test cricket would be finished. So I think, you know, I know a lot of people talk about it, but we have to be very careful when we, you know, we have to understand the challenges that Indian cricket faces or the BCCI would face in a situation like this. You know, you'd see all our boys like a lot of boys being asked to play leagues right in the middle of our season. We're seeing what that's done to West Indian cricket. And I would definitely not want Indian cricket to go that way. It would certainly affect our Ranji Trophy. It would affect Test cricket. And in India being, Indian boys playing Test cricket is pretty important for the Test game as well, I would think.